The Nintendo Switch 2 is one of the most anticipated devices of 2025, and with the Nintendo Direct speculated to fully unveil everything, including launch titles and stuff, and just a further look about the Switch 2 coming in about 3-ish months, what are we expecting for its launch lineup? What kind of games would we predict to see in a supposed Switch 2 lineup? Because you can really tell how much faith they have in a console by their launch lineup. And sometimes it's a bit of misnomer, because sometimes there's only 7 games and there's only one good one, but that one good game is Game of the Year, which was the case for the original Nintendo Switch. Granted, they had a launch lineup of 9 games, 2 exclusive being to the Nintendo eShop. Them being a game like Wipeout 2099, like on the PSP, very similar idea, and then Snipperclips, which was an amazing, fun, local multiplayer game to have at launch. But just generally underwhelming as a launch title. You kind of want to like go out and make a big statement. So what would my launch lineup look like? Starting off with probably one of the most important things that we probably did get confirmed inside the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal trailer is a new Mario Kart. We haven't got a new Mario Kart in almost 10 years. We've been only getting updates and refreshes to Mario Kart 8 that whole time, and a Mario Kart 9 would go a very long way into just saying Nintendo has immense amount of faith in the Switch 2 and is hoping to really start off with a bang. Mario Kart 8 has been one of Nintendo's most successful games of all time, being one of the most popular games on the Nintendo Switch. So I think it's pretty reasonable to expect that a new Mario Kart is in development, but whether or not it's going to be a launch title is still to be determined. But by the fact that it looks like a new Mario Kart game is being sort of unveiled inside the reveal trailer being the game played on the Switch 2, it's correct in assuming, I feel like, to assume that that game being played is Mario Kart 9, or at least some new Mario Kart game, because I could not identify any of the tracks displayed in the reveal trailer for the Switch 2. I couldn't find any matching tracks inside Mario Kart 8, nor the expansion pass. So I feel pretty safe in assuming, though granted take it with a grain of salt until we get any actual confirmation, that that is going to be Mario Kart 9. So Mario Kart 9 being a launch title, to me, just shows how much faith Nintendo has in the Switch 2. Another game that I would be super excited to see, because the Switch 1 revealed with and just was launched with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was an amazing game and a great way to start off the Switch. But for the Switch 2, I would love to see a 3D Mario launch title, because we got Mario Odyssey about 6 to 4 months after the original Switch's release, coming in that December. So this time around, I would love to see the reverse. We get a 3D Mario at the launch of the Switch 2, and then we get some sort of Zelda game at the later part of the year to sort of close out the sort of launch year of the Nintendo Switch 2. And what better title to do that with than Mario Odyssey? It was one of the best 3D Mario games of all time, and I feel like it's pretty natural to see sort of a showcase of all the Switch 2's new features, or just a showcase in just graphical fidelity, because Mario Odyssey was an amazing, beautiful game. Still looks to be one of the prettiest games on the original Switch. I would love to see some sort of real-time local multiplayer sort of situation, because honestly, I think that was the things missing most from Mario Odyssey is true multiplayer. Sure, you can have player 2 be the hat, but that's just kind of boring. Being able to actually be in the world together, playing these platform levels would be awesome in an open world setting. Sure, we do already have a 3D platforming multiplayer Mario game, but I've never been a huge fan of it, and Bowser's Fury to me was a massive step forward in terms of making that concept feel a lot better, but I've never been a huge fan of it in comparison to the other 3D Marios we've had. So I essentially just hope that they release some form of 3D Mario as a launch title, because it would be so awesome to see. And unlike the Mario Kart game, we really have no leaks or rumors to point at where we can have some sort of speculation to whether or not that might be the case, because Nintendo has been pretty good and really bad at times with keeping secrets, and if a new Mario game was coming out, I strongly believe that Nintendo would keep that secret until the very end. The Switch originally had sort of a curveball, like, oh my god, that's so cool announcement, when it was first revealed playing Skyrim. And that was so cool, seeing a massive third-party title like Skyrim be revealed with the original Switch. And I think a game that would pair very well for that is Call of Duty. Granted, it is on the more violent side of things for Nintendo, but with this more sleek, more mature-looking Nintendo Switch 2, I can see them advertising Call of Duty Black Ops 6 potentially coming to the Switch 2. Bobby Kotick revealed during the depositions and all the trial stuff for the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, they are working on a potential Call of Duty for Nintendo Switch. Granted, I don't think it's ever going to come to the actual current Nintendo Switch. That just, to me, seems completely unreasonable to expect that thing to run an actual Call of Duty game, maybe Warzone Mobile. During that same deposition, we also revealed information that the Nintendo Switch 2's performance is somewhere around a PS4 Pro. That being the case, I can very much see Call of Duty being able to come to the platform. Another compounding variable is the fact that they signed a 10-year deal with Nintendo for Call of Duty games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and we haven't yet seen a single game sort of come out of that. And granted, they mostly signed the deal to get the FTC off their back about, maybe taking Call of Duty and making it first party, depriving Sony of the game. Granted, they will inevitably do that at some point probably, but right now I think they really want it in Game Pass more. So I genuinely see no reason why Call of Duty Black Ops 6 wouldn't be the game to maybe make that transition, or maybe the next Call of Duty game that comes out this October, the speculated release date of the Nintendo Switch 2. Even if it's not Black Ops 6, it could potentially be the next Call of Duty game that comes out after. Another game that genuinely probably isn't that surprising to most of you guys is Pokémon ZA. I think that one might be cross-generation though. It would have like a version that comes out on the original Switch and a version that would be better optimized, just has some minor improvements, just runs better on the Switch 2. Currently, all we know about the release date for Pokémon ZA is that's supposed to come out sometime in 2025, which isn't very precise. So we can't say for certain when it's going to come out, but I feel pretty confident in speculating that it's going to come out sometime alongside the Switch 2. Maybe not necessarily as a launch title, but maybe be released before on the original Switch. Then when the Switch 2 comes out, we get like a more either optimized version or update that enables certain things like better performance found on the Switch 2. And having a Pokemon game at launch would go so hard in the favor of the Switch 2. Granted, the last couple Pokemon games have been flaming dumpster fires, but that doesn't mean Pokemon Z8 probably isn't going to be one of the most hyped Pokemon games of all time, seeing the return of Mega Evolution, which is something the fans have been clamoring for an incredibly long time. And what better way to ring in the new console generation for Nintendo than having a Pokemon game at launch, which I don't think they've ever done before. And alongside having a Mario Kart game at launch would just send the pre-order numbers into the sky. Having some of Nintendo's tier 1 most popular franchises available at launch would just go so hard. And then you have a game for people that don't necessarily care for the more kid-centric games like Pokemon and Mario Kart. They can get Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch portably in a more console-like fashion, unlike playing it on like a Steam Deck with Windows or a Legion Go or something like that. Having Call of Duty on a Switch would be so cool. And realistically, it would cover all of Nintendo's bases. You have the casual games for the casual players with Mario Odyssey 2. For the even more casual fans, there's Mario Kart. You got something for the Pokemon fans. And then if the more mature crowd wanted something, there's Call of Duty. So that is my projected launch lineup. I would love to hear what you guys think. Are you excited for the potential of the Switch 2's launch lineup? What do you think is going to be in that launch lineup? I would love to see what you guys think down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the other social media garbage down below. And last but not least, have a wonderful day.